everyone, it's Lisa from My Dream Is Soap. Welcome to my channel, thanks for dropping by. Now today, I think this is going to be a fairly quick video. I just thought I would just make a soap with one of the new embeds I can make from some of the extrude discs that I offer in the shop. So I've done a range of, now it doesn't look this great at the moment because obviously I'm chopping it at the end, of some mermaid extruded discs. So big mermaids, little mermaids, mermaids all in one pieces, or multi-parts. You can do them different coloured like I've done there. So that's what I'm going to pop into this soap. So I've made my mermaid. Oh, can you hear that rain? And then also I've extruded some little white round bits, and those are going to be bubbles in the sea. So those are my extruded bits. And then for my mould, this is my Nurture Soap Tall and Skinny mould. What I want to do is, I want to have the mermaid sort of swimming past a bit of seaweed, floating seaweed. So I want to do a secret feather swirl for the seaweed, but I also want the mermaid in. So I was kind of thinking about the best way to get this done, because I didn't want to fill it all up and then do the secret feather, because then I wouldn't have a very tall secret feather, and by the time I put the mermaid in, it would distort everything and it'll be a pain. Or if I filled it all up first and then put the mermaid in and then tried to do the secret feather, I couldn't do that because you have to do the secret feather in layers, but the mermaid I want all in one go. So I just decided I'm going to try it with a divider in. Now the problem with my dividers is that obviously, like most dividers, they block off the end of your mould. So I'm going to put some soap in first for my secret feather to do that, and then I'm going to remove the ends before I actually put my mermaid in and see how that will go. I'm not sure how well that will work. I'm going to have to try and sort of hold the divider myself, so that may and may not work. We'll see as we go. I've got a hanger tool. It is just literally a hanger that I've got for my secret feather. That will do for later. Right. So I'm going to make all my soap up in one go. So here are all my oils. And my lye solution and sodium lactate. Let's get these poured in. I want this to stay pretty fluid, so I'm not going to blend it too much. I've pre-dispersed some micas, so I've got some Emerald Lagoon in here from Pure Rock Colours, and this is a mixture, and I wanted a light blue. I'm quite conscious that the top of my mermaid is a blue colour as well, so I do want to make sure that we can still see the top of the mermaid. So this is 1/3 of this colour is royal blue from Mineral Makeup Ingredients, and then 2/3 titanium dioxide. Okay, I'm just going to split off a small amount for this green, which will be my secret feather, which will basically be my seaweed. 16. And then for my fragrance oil, I've got Grapefruit Bergamot from Nurture Soap. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. Okay, so I'm going to leave those just for a little while. I still want these to stay fluid, but I do need them to have enough of a trace so that as I pour my secret feather, one layer will stay sort of towards the top of the other without just sinking down. Let's get this poured. So I've got my divider all in there and my blue. Now I'm going to put some of this green, or pretty well all of this green, but not all in one go, into a little squeeze bottle. Just to help me with my secret feather. And the blue as well, just some of it, the bit that's going to, again, go between the leaves of the secret feather. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, because I'm not really sure how well this is going to work, because I've got to start with my secret feather, and then before I can put the embed in, I've got to pull these dividers out and then put my embed in and then finish off my secret feather. So it might all be a complete disaster and all collapse everywhere, but we shall see. So let's get some of this blue in first. So I'm just having this as a base for my mermaid to be on, and also to start my secret feather off. So it doesn't matter if it goes underneath. Okay. Okay, so that'll do for now. I've got obviously some more blue mixed up. Right. Kind of tricky quite far down to get the green on without it dropping. I'm just trying to sort of really sprinkle it on lightly, which is why I'm using the squeeze bottle. Get some attempt at sort of getting a layer. Okay, I'm going to just leave that for a minute or so because I think it's a little bit too thin. It's actually sinking. I think I'm a little bit thicker now, still not particularly thick, but I want to get going so this doesn't set up. So I'm just going to carry on. So all I'm just doing here is layers of the blue and then layers of the green. And the reason I'm using a squeeze bottle is this hasn't actually got a very long neck on it, but it's just going to drop it down a little bit more gently than if I poured it with a jug, because I don't want this to turn into a drop swirl. Okay, so that's the secret feather done, and I'm now going to muck around and do the divider and the mermaid bit. This is going to be the really tricky bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Right, so I need to get the ends of these dividers out, pop my mermaid in, and then pour around the mermaid. Gosh. I'm not going to worry about scraping anything off that. There's only a tiny bit on there. Okay. Right, divider out. Let's get this mermaid in. I'm fine if she sinks a bit to the bottom. I don't mind where she is in the soap. Ooh, not like that though. Okay, that's her in. My green went down quite a bit there. So I think I might have some seaweed elsewhere now. So I might just try and add a little bit more to that. Okay. Right, so I'm going to do my secret feather bit. I'm going to put my hanger in. Okay. Right, and then let's just fill the rest of this in. Right, let's get the rest of this blue on top. Let's give it a little stir, thicken right up. And then I've got some little white bits of soap dough, and these are going to be sort of bubbles. Okay, so I'm going to use this to sort of draw on some more seaweed onto the top. I think that will do, and then I've just got some tiny little bits of the bubbles left over, and I'm just going to chop those up. Then I'm just going to pop them on the top. we are all done, and I'm going to put that away to gel, and we'll see what it's like in tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure what's going on in there, but we'll see. I was just about to put this away and clear up, and I had a bit of my mermaid embed left. So what I'm doing is, I'm not going to put a whole mermaid on the top because I think it'll be too big. I'm just going to drop in a mermaid tail on the top there. That might be quite cute. Might as well to use the embeds up. I quite like that, and that's used up some of that spare embed. Good, so I'm just now going to put that away until tomorrow. Here's our mermaid soap the next day, so let's get that cut. I really don't like cutting tall loaves of soap on these cutters. Ah, geez, I might mess with this. I would normally turn it on its side, but I wanted to get the tails lined up. There we go. Gosh, that was difficult. Let's have a look at what we've got then. Pick a couple out from the middle, I think. Okay, so I'm quite happy with my top. The top looks quite pretty with those little mermaid tails on. And yes, there she is. So I've got a tiny little air bubble there, but that's no problem. I can easily fix that. And there's my secret feather seaweed and my mermaid. Her top's quite closely coloured to the sea in the background, but I kind of wanted it like that. I wanted her to look like she was blue, not to have a blue mermaid, but to show that she was sort of in the water, as it were. So I'm quite happy with that. Probably could have been slightly more different in the colouring. I really like my tail. My tail's come out really well. That just merged, sort of smushing that two different colours of the soap dough through together. And then can you see where I had trouble starting the cut? It has marked the bars a little bit, but I think that'll be okay. They're obviously quite soft at the moment, so I will be able to just go through and smooth those out a bit. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with those. The bubbles are a bit in a random place, but that's fine. But yeah, overall, I think they've come out really quite cute.
And then I'll leave you with a final photo of the soap. These soaps will be for sale in the May the 6th shop update. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you like the soap. If you have, it would be great if you gave me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see what I'm making in the future, why not subscribe to my channel? Thanks for watching everyone. Happy soaping!